Welcome to One on One, the Daily Items weekly digital program featuring Susquehanna Valley newsmakers interviewed by Daily Item reporters. Today's guest is Jeff Kimball, the co-chair of Pineknotter Days, interviewed by Rick Dandes.
The Sunbury Motor Company.
Austin Martin, Kia Elite Sales Consultant, Maranatha Christian School.
Amber Wren, Certified Hyundai and Lincoln Sales Consultant, Selinsgrove High School.
Ian Chakosky, Certified Ford Sales Professional, Mount Carmel and Shamokin area.
Christopher Stengline, Ford Certified Sales Consultant, Selinsgrove High School.
Tom Mertz, fourth generation owner, Sunbury Motor Company, Shikellamy High School.
A tradition of trust since 1915.
Welcome to One on One. My name is Rick Dandes, and today we're speaking with Jeff Kimball. Jeff is the co-chair of Pineknotter Days, which is a huge event in this area. Draws tens of thousands of people, as I understand it.
That's correct.
So let's begin in the beginning. Jeff, I understand you have been with Pineknotters since your organization essentially took over running it. Could you give me some background on how this whole Pineknotter event started?
Well, actually, I got involved with Pineknotters in 1981. I had moved back to the area, and a friend of mine, Jerry Deal, at the time was chair of the Pineknotters Association, and he enticed me to come and get involved. And lo and got involved. Joe Epler that year, who had Epler's Funeral Home, was also moving up in the chair position for the following year. Mm-hmm. And then, so I went in as a co-chair, which would follow Joe. Well, Joe ended up having a number of funerals that week, unfortunately. And so it pulled him away from running things. So I more or less had to dive right in and run it myself that year. And so I've been involved with it since that period of time. Pineknotters got started back in 1973. With the year following the bicentennial celebration in Northumberland. Everybody came together in the community and decided this was a great activity for bringing people together in town. Everybody liked coming out, meeting their fellow neighbors, having fun, having food, entertainment, etc. like that. So that's how Pineknotters got started.
Jeff, was it always in King Street Park?
Yes.
And when you came on, I mean, how big was it? I know it's grown to really kind of a gargantuan size.
Yeah, it has over the years.
How was it when you first got there? Did you have trouble getting vendors?
We had some trouble getting vendors back then because there wasn't a lot of vendors out there. You had larger ones that wanted to do everything. Mm-hmm. Then you had some smaller ones that couldn't do as much in that. So we had problems getting some vendors in there at times. A lot of it was local organizations that came in. We had, at the time, I think it was, we ran Pineknotters Association itself ran several stands. We ran the funnel cakes, the pizza, lemonade stand. We ran the cake wheel. We had a penny candy store that we had set up there then also. And I think there was, I'm trying to think what other, then we ran the hot dog and soda sales that year then too. And over the years, we just eventually had to move out a lot of that stuff because we no longer had a number of people involved to help with it.
Okay, and you're with the Kiwanis. When you first got involved, did you get involved as a member of Kiwanis, or did Kiwanis eventually took over?
Kiwanis eventually took over. I can't think what year it was. We had I was involved with the Pineknotters Association itself, and then with we started losing some volunteers in the organization, and we needed some more manpower to help. So myself, there was two other members of the Pineknotters Association at the time, Jerry Deal and Tom Probst. We were both members of Kiwanis. And so we went back and approached the Kiwanis Club about being the sponsor on it and providing manpower to help run the organization. They helped setting up the booths, tearing down, et cetera, like that, and running some of the stuff during the week activities then.
Okay, so now Kiwanis essentially is the organizer.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I shouldn't say Kiwanis is. Kiwanis is the sponsoring organization behind it. We now have a number of people involved with Pineknotters who are not members of Kiwanis Club, though, too.
One thing I was always curious about, and that's is it a money making event, and does that money go towards the community or the Kiwanis? Or?
Well, the money goes back to Kiwanis. A certain amount of the profit each year is turned back over to the Kiwanis Club, and the Kiwanis Club turns around and distributes that through the community. through various organizations, the Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, local church groups, library. There's a wide variety of organizations that benefit from it.
Okay. Well, now in a few minutes, we're going to talk about this year's Pineknotters week. But as you look back, are there any memorable weeks with Pineknotters that anything that comes to mind?
Let's see. Trying to think. There was we had a lot of different events over the years, and some of them just fizzled out over the years. I'm trying to think. We had. Trying to think. What was it? Can't remember one activity we had. It was always a fun activity, but then we had youth activities for the kids. I know the Kiwanis Club early on ran some of those up in the old football field there in Northumberland. We had those activities. There was one thing that we did, and I just can't remember the name of it anymore.
Yeah. Well, okay. I know that it starts. Technically, it starts on Monday, but also there's some events that begin even before that. I know that there's the soapbox derby on Saturday, which I guess will be 2 weeks from. What's the date on that? The 30th?
Yes.
I believe the 30th. And then there's a service on Sunday.
Yeah, there's a community church service on Sunday, and there's the Pineknotter event then also on. I think that's Sunday also.
Okay. Now, before we start talking about the actual week, was wondering about the difficulty in getting entertainment.
Usually don't have any difficulty in getting entertainment. We usually have a good selection available. We try to at least bring one new or different group in each year, give them a try like that, because we have some groups that maybe there's conflicts in their schedules. There was one group we had a couple years ago that we'd like to have them back, but one of the members of the band is on vacation that week every year, so it's hard to get them back then as a group then. So we always try to bring somebody new in and give somebody a new chance in there to provide entertainment for Pineknotters.
All right. Okay, well, we're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to talk about this year's Pineknotter Days.
The Sunbury Motor Company.
Austin Martin, Kia Elite Sales Consultant, Maranatha Christian School.
Amber Wren, Certified Hyundai and Lincoln Sales Consultant, Selinsgrove Area High School.
Ian Chikuski, Certified Ford Sales Professional, Mount Carmel and Shamokin area.
Christopher Stengline, Ford Certified Sales Consultant, Selinsgrove Area High School.
Tom Mertz, fourth generation owner, Sunbury Motor Company, Shikellamy High School.
A tradition of trust since 1915.
Welcome back to One on One. I'm Rick Dandes, and we're talking today with Jeff Kimball, co-chair of Pineknotters. So we've been talking about some history of Pineknotters, how it came to be, so to speak. So now let's talk about what people can expect at the actual event, which begins...
It begins on Saturday, June 29th with the Soapbox Derby, which is sponsored by the Northumberland Police Department. It's always a good activity for the kids to get involved in. There's various soapboxes that have been pre-built and donated over the year by various organizations that the kids have a chance to run, participate in on King Street there in Northumberland. We come into Sunday, we have an event for the kids in Sunday afternoon down at Pineknotter Park, which is down close to the bridge in Northumberland. It's called Pineknotter for Kids event. Unfortunately, I've never been down to it because I'm always busy in the park getting things set up. And then we had the community church service then at 7 p.m. on Sunday evening.
Yeah, that Pineknotter, so I know we have someone cover that, and usually it's a pretty wild and fun event for kids. Yeah. And so then, before we talk about the week, the Pineknotter week, I think it's important to talk about all the construction that's going on in Northumberland. And some people might be a little bit concerned about where am I going to park, how am I going to get there. You've dealt with that this year.
Yeah,
Tell me about that.
Yeah, it's fortunately PennDOT has assured us they're going to stop work on June 28th, which is a couple of days prior to the start of Pineknotter Days, and everything will be suspended construction-wise until after Pineknotter Days. So that's going to alleviate some of the construction problems going on in Northumberland. And my understanding, the underpass, Duke and Water Streets is going to be open fully, so that's going to be good for transportation getting through
One
here.
would hope.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, the tractor trailers will be coming back down through town too, probably once that's open.
Yeah.
But then we have we've added tried it last year, having a free shuttle service to bring people back and forth from various areas. So we didn't get as much notice on it and putting it together last year as what we'd hoped to do. Couldn't get the advertisement out on it, so not that many people took advantage of it. So we were able to put it together early this year, line up some different parking spots for them to park their cars in from different organizations that have parking lots available, and be able to be picked up and dropped off at King Street Park. So it's going to work out good. We have the American Legion Post 44 it's up on Route 11, the north side of the parking lot, and it's available. We have the Northumberland Christian School, which is 5th and King Streets in Northumberland, which has donated their large parking lots to this used to be the former warehouse for Ray and Derek's drugs many years ago. Some people might know it by that. And we also have the Pine Apartments then too, which is out in front of that, is going to have parking available then for the people to come down, park their cars. They can pick up the shuttle there. It'll return them before 10 p.m. that night then to their cars then.
Okay, so Pineknotter Days during the week is essentially kind of in the evenings, but it's a full day on July 4th.
Yes, correct. Pineknotters runs, this year we're allowing the concessions to open at 5 p.m. in the evenings, and they're open at 10 p.m. We have a number of concessionaires that approached us in the past, and when we only said we open at 6. Well, a number of concessionaires said, well, can we open early?
Yeah.
We had people here wanting to buy our stuff. I said, yes, go ahead. So we gave everybody the option this year of opening at 5 o'clock. So everybody can be there at 5 o'clock. Now, realizing some organizations, because people may be working, so it might be a little bit of a delay for them to get there. So it's up to them if they want to open at 5 p.m. But we have outside concessionaires that have no problem opening it early.
Okay. So each day you have entertainment. I know that the first day, it's the day I'm always there, incidentally. You have the Recreation Band, very popular.
Oh, yes.
And fills up the street with people.
Yes.
Wanting to see them.
Yeah.
But you also have the Pineknotter of the Year.
Yes, correct.
Could you talk a little about that?
Yeah, with the Pineknotter of the Year award, nominations are being made by various members of the community right now to nominate somebody who they feel is worthy of receiving this award. And it goes to somebody in the community who has dedicated their time and volunteer efforts, et cetera, like that, to their organizations, to other organizations in the community then. And Pineknotter tries to come back and recognize that person for their volunteerism and their service to the community.
Okay, and that happens on the stage.
That happens on the stage.
Is set up at
at 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And we also have the Pineknotter Good Citizenship Award, which takes place at 7 p.m. then too.
Yep. And talk about the rest of the week. What are some of the things scheduled? I know you have a car show.
We have a car show. Well, let me go down the schedule here a little bit. With Monday night, we'll be in recreation, as we said. Tuesday night's a new group from this year we have coming from the Williamsport area called Top Shelf. Wednesday is our car show, which runs from 6 to 9 p.m. Entertainment that night is by Memory Lane. And then on Thursday, which is a day-long festival for us, begins at 9 o'clock in the morning. So we're open from 9 till 10 that day. We have the craft show. We have the chicken barbecue, which is sponsored by the Point Township Fire Police. Put that together. We have an art show at the Little House, which actually the art show at the Little House runs all week long, as does the bingo then too. That we have. Entertainment that night is going to be the Frank Wicker Band, which is a local band from Northumberland. So we're always good to have somebody local like that, with Frank Wicker Band, Memory Lane, both being local bands that are based out of Northumberland.
Okay, and so you finish up on Friday.
And then finish up on Friday night with the Lucky Afternoon Band.
One thing I'm curious about, how many vendors, approximately how many vendors do you have there, do you know?
Oh, we probably have between 30 and 40 vendors.
And it seems like the same ones come back every year.
We have a lot that come back every year. We have one gentleman from the Bloomsburg area who brings the games in for the kids. We've turned over some of the concession stands to him now also.
Yeah.
But he's also provides us with the stage then too. We put our entertainment on each night then too.
Okay. Well, let's hope for good weather.
Yes,
good
definitely.
Weather. I know that the crowds just really enjoy coming to Pineknotter Days.
They do.
Jeff, thank you so much for talking to us.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. Join us again for another edition of One-on-One.
Thanks for watching One-on-One. Be sure to tune in next week for another edition.